From the mind of Mark Yoshimoto Nemkov.
So Marmalade Cream says, love that 1084. You're making me want an Apollo now, dang it. Well, you know what? Marmalade Cream, let's talk about the Apollo. So there is a dark day in my history when I thought that I could really build a great voiceover rig using replica gear. And not even good stuff. I'm talking about like warm audio stuff. And the day that I decided I was going to do that, I set myself down a path of disappointment. The river of broken dreams. And the nightmares that I had with hardware. Now, I bought some good preamps back in the day when I was buying preamps. And Avalon V5. Oh, I don't know whatever inspired me to get that. Great sounding preamp, but not right for voiceover. And the point being that all this hardware that I bought, and some of it that I DIY'd, Hairball Audio Gold, Lola, blah, 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 all these preamps and everything I tried. And you know what sucked about it? Is you get it sounding right, and every so often you'd get in the booth, and there'd be a hum. There'd be like a hum somewhere. And you're like, damn it. Because then I got to get my little flashlight and try to bend myself around the back of the rack. And I'm looking at the wires, and I got headphones on a long extension, and I'm hunting for this hum. And I'm like wiggling cables, and I'm like, oh, did this one cross a power line somewhere? Where the hell is this hum? And occasionally, you'd find it right away. But most of the time, it would just drive you nuts. And then you'd figure it out. It would be like, oh, yeah, I pulled a new cable through the booth, and this happened, and across this line that's connected to the LED light, and hardware sucked. Hardware just sucked, just for the reason that you're dealing with hardware. And then you get a bunch of pieces, right? And then you have to get more outlets to plug them into, right? It's not just like, oh, I can fill my rack with stuff. It's like, oh, I have to plug all this stuff in now. So as much as I love the tactile fetish, thing of hardware, of being able to touch it and see it and all that, it just all became the most ridiculous journey of just misaligned priorities when I finally discovered the Apollo system. And it's not I'm not saying that you're going to get that same feeling that you use with hardware. But you have to understand that what you're getting is so damn close that the average listener, the person who's listening to your commercial, or even sitting there listening to your narration or whatever they're doing, that person isn't going to know that you didn't cut through a John Hardy or an API console or Neve, a real 1084? So let's just assume for a moment, for just a millisecond, that there is a difference in quality between them. For voiceover, you have a lot of leeway. You have to deliver a clean product that has the emotional intent of what the copy beholds, regardless of what it is. If it's a commercial about Band-Aids, you got to make it sound like they're not going to hurt when you pull them off. That these Band-Aids love you. And that's a factor of your delivery. It's a factor of your tone. It's a factor of your skill. It's a factor of your gear. So let me ask you a question. For those who feel like, modeled preamps and modeled plugins and this and that, the Apollo system, isn't going to be a great solution for a voiceover rig. I mean, listen to this. Does this suck? Does this sound not work for you? Because quite honestly, the versatility of the Apollo system just completely outweighs any other consideration. Because even if you think that hardware will get you an extra 2, 4, 5% in terms of quality or 3D or whatever, think about the fact that you'll never have to crawl behind a rack to plug shit in with the Apollo. I mean, that's just part of it. I'm just, my point is that you have, hold on, I had notes here. I really did. I'm an idiot. Okay, hold on. Here we go. No, there was a couple of really salient points I wanted to make. So with an Apollo, there's one device to plug in, right? And this is actually maybe even the most important thing. You have instant recall of any setup you want to save. So if you have a complete rig and you have it set up a certain way, and let's say you tweak your settings just a little bit for a specific job, right? There's one job you're like, oh, you know what? I changed the EQ for my normal thing. Just boom, you save it. You save that with the name of the project. You can save as many as you want for each project, for each day. I mean, each one of those files is like 100K. It's nothing. You can save a preset for every single job you do so that when you go back and you have to maybe copy a sound, you know, like sometimes clients will be like, hey, can you just replace this one sentence here? And then you have to figure out what your tone was and go and try to match it. You can save one file for each job, so if that ever happens, you just go back and you're like, okay, February 20th, Volkswagen, boom, here we go. There's instant recall. There's no patch bay. It sounds great. I mean, it makes your life easier. You can take an Apollo Twin, throw it in your backpack, and you can go anywhere. Because voiceover is sometimes a job where you may be forced away from your home base. And what are you going to do? Grab your whole rack and just tote it with you wherever you have to go? Go on a trip or something? You could just take this. So, I mean, I'm not anti-hardware. Only a complete psychopath would be anti-hardware. I just think that for bang for your buck, for the ability to deliver your product in a way that is efficient, that is easy, that is, you know what, just downright perfect. I mean, how is this not great, right? Now, it may not be for everybody, and I know a lot of you out there, not a lot, I know that some of you out there are like anti-Universal Audio, anti-Apollo, that whole thing, the shark chips and blah, 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 blah. You know what? I don't know if they are going to reinvent the Apollo and the whole system and make it run on different chips because the shark chips are from the 1920s, back when they had tubes in them, and Thomas Edison invented the shark chip, and it only holds like one character of data. The point is, do you need something that works now? Do you need a rig now, right? Do you need something that's going to work now? If you do, just consider the Apollo. It's good shit, man. So anyway, I love the Apollo. I love the sound of the plugins. I love the ability to like just switch stuff around and experiment, and everything's easy. You know, I mean, if you can operate a computer, you can do this. It's not hard. What do you think? That's my Apollo rant. Leave a comment. All right, until next time. This is Mark Yoshimoto Nemkov, fading to black.